Hi, I'm Sheriff Kevin Rambosk. The Collier County Sheriff's Office and Collier County Emergency Management wants everyone to be prepared this hurricane season. Please take a few minutes to watch this informative video and find out how you can be our partner in hurricane safety.
I have potentially catastrophic hurricane in just a few hours from landfall along
Hello, my name is Lieutenant Mike Jones from the Special Services Bureau of the Collier County Sheriff's Office. Today I'm going to talk to you about hurricane preparedness, shelters, exit and re-entry into your communities, curfews, and emergency management. One of the most important things to remember is to stay informed of the storm. Stay alert of weather reports, local news, and instructions from emergency workers. The first thing I want to talk about is shelters. There is a shelter space deficit throughout Southwest Florida. So if you plan to have a safe place to go, plan to use that location instead of a public shelter. But if you have no place to go, shelters will be open. Here are some important points to remember if you choose to go to a public shelter. When you arrive at the shelter, give your name and address to the shelter manager so you can be located if necessary. If you leave the shelter, check out with the shelter manager. Accountability is important to your safety. Shelters are not able to provide conveniences or luxuries. They are not hotels. Food and water will be available, but there may be a slight delay in initial services. If you want or need special food items, bring them with you. Bring your family's disaster survival kit to ensure proper provisions. A shelter is a community. Rumors can become widespread and are often disruptive. Listen to official information and refuse to pass on gossip. Be considerate of your neighbors and follow the instructions of the staff. Several items are prohibited in shelters. Weapons and alcoholic beverages are not permitted. Also, pets are not allowed in regular shelters. Only documented service animals are allowed in public shelters. Make prior arrangements to ensure your pet's safety and care. Collier County's pet-friendly shelter is at the North Collier Regional Park. You must pre-register your pet if you intend to use this free service. Contact Collier County Domestic Animal Services Office for registration information and general queries. Some people cannot be accommodated in regular shelters because of special medical needs. Special needs shelters are available for these people. These shelters provide a higher level of medical support than regular public shelters, but they're not for everyone. You must pre-register and have a caregiver accompany you to use a special needs shelter. Qualifications vary from county to county, but there are specific requirements and procedures to register as a special needs client. Collier County has a reentry program. If you have been asked to evacuate your residence prior to landfall of a storm, once the storm has passed, evaluations will be done on your areas to determine how devastated the area is. Once that is complete, residents will be allowed back in. You will need 2 documents showing that you live in the area that you are trying to gain reentry into. Those documents could include a driver's license, power bill, a phone bill, or a cable bill. Once you produce those 2 documents to the deputies in the devastated area, you will be allowed re-entry to your home after it has been rendered safe. Depending on the severity of impact of a storm to Collier County, the Board of County Commissioners may issue a curfew. The curfews are usually dusk to dawn curfews. That does not mean that no one is allowed on the streets. If you are employed at the hospital or at a convenience store, or you need to go check on your business, as long as you can justify your means to be on the roads, you will be allowed to proceed to your destination. You will be stopped and you will be questioned by law enforcement.
Hello, I'm Dan Summers, Director of the Collier County Bureau of Emergency Services and Emergency Management. And a special thanks to Sheriff Rambosk for allowing emergency management to participate in this broadcast. The emergency management function relies heavily on Collier County Sheriff's Department, along with a number of other agencies, for our response and recovery during times of disaster. Our agencies are heavily involved in this Emergency Operations Center pre-landfall, landfall, and recovery process during times of disaster here in Collier County. It takes a cooperative team effort with not only governmental agencies but private nonprofit organizations, hospitals, and a whole host of agencies to help us get through the disaster. And for that, we're very thankful of the teamwork and the cooperation in Collier County. One of the important things that emergency management continues to stress during times of emergency is communications. And one additional device that we want to remind you about is the NOAA Weather Radio. The NOAA Weather Radio is an additional emergency information tool that sits quietly at your home until weather broadcasts become imminent. Listen to the NOAA Weather Radio, take our advice from NOAA Weather Radio, emergency evacuation information, shelter information, and current forecast conditions will be posted and audible through the NOAA Weather Radio. One important component to our Emergency Operations Center is the Hurricane Information Hotline. That number is 252-8444, 252-8444. That emergency number becomes activated when the Emergency Operations Center also becomes active. That number is designed to help take some of the call stress and strain off of our 911 system. Do not call 911 unless you have an actual emergency. But if you want local emergency information, local general information about what's happening with a hurricane event, what shelters might be open, what other assistance might be available, that 252-8444 number is the number you should dial. One of the biggest challenges we have following a major landfalling hurricane in Collier County is clearing roadways. We're asking for your patience and assistance to stay off the roads unless the travel is absolutely necessary. There will be an abundance of emergency vehicles, debris removal equipment, ambulances, fire trucks, patrol cars, all inspecting the areas, doing preliminary damage assessment, as well as making paths clear for Florida Power and Light to restore electrical services. We cannot overstress the importance of listening to local radio and television, monitoring NOAA Weather Radio broadcast, and checking local websites. In particular, our website at collierem.org or colliergov.net. Each of those sites will have emergency information posted almost in real time as to what's happening within our community. If you live outside the area, by monitoring that website, you'll have the latest information available as to road closures, shelter openings, and other emergency information that we're trying to convey here from the Emergency Operations Center. That information will be critical to your survival.
Hello, my name is Catherine Duque, and I'm a Communications Deputy for Collier County Sheriff's Office. Knowing when to dial 911 during a natural disaster is very important and crucial. 911 call takers are trained and prepared to take your calls, but at the same time, we need your help in assisting us by knowing when to dial 911. During a natural disaster, our Communications Center receives hundreds of 911 calls from people who need emergency assistance and from others who are just seeking information about the storm. It is very important that you understand that you should dial 911 only if a true emergency exists, such as a life-threatening emergency, crimes in progress, fires, or live power lines down. You should not call 911 to report damage to your home from the storm, to find out about the weather, to verify the welfare check of someone, or to check on curfews. By following these simple guidelines, you will allow 911 emergency call takers to concentrate on real emergencies and help those who are in immediate need.
Hello, my name is Sergeant Chris Gonzalez with the Collier County Sheriff's Office Traffic Bureau. One of the most unfortunate things that happens when a hurricane strikes, loss of power. This causes our traffic signals to go into flash mode or not to function at all. It is very important that you obey all traffic laws regarding a traffic signal which may not be working properly. If you drive up to an intersection which a traffic signal is in flash mode, the first thing you want to do is see which color the light is in your lane. If it is flashing yellow, this means that you may proceed cautiously through the intersection. If it is flashing red, this means that you must stop before proceeding through the intersection. If the traffic signal is completely out, then you must treat this intersection as if it was a four-way stop. Remember to be patient with other drivers and treat each intersection with extreme caution.